Yo, 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 yo! Oh my god! Super Sonic is actually back! He's back! And oh my god, he looks fire! Although, as happy as I am, this isn't too much of a shocker. When the Chaos Emeralds were confirmed to be in the game, we figured Super Sonic wouldn't be far behind. But god, does it feel refreshing to have both things factor into the main story of a Sonic game like you have no idea. Or if you're a long-standing Sonic fan, of course you have an idea. Today, SEGA dropped a Tokyo Game Show trailer for Sonic Frontiers. A little earlier than I figured they would, but the event isn't, actually now I think about it, on their part of the world, maybe it's actually starting, or close to anyway. But the point is this, we got ourselves another trailer, and it shows off Super Sonic, the man, the myth, the god, the legend. Oh my god! We see a transformation sequence occur right after Sonic snatches the last Chaos Emerald off the back of the very same Titan that clocked him earlier in-game. And now he's getting his run back as Super Sonic. But unfortunately, the trailer cuts off before we actually get to see the boss battle unfolding, which was probably in the intention, as they don't want us to see it just yet. But you know, I said in my last video that SEGA probably is reserved with spoilers about this game. I'm starting to reconsider that statement because they don't appear to be holding anything back now. Bro, while I appreciate this huge step up in the marketing, I didn't quite mean give away everything about the game, which I know they haven't yet. But they're certainly showing us a lot. I'm not complaining personally, but I have to wonder how much of it they're actually going to show off before we get into the game for ourselves. But I'll take any excuse to jump aboard the hype train. As I said on Twitter last night, I am becoming more and more obsessed with this game. It's really hitting me. I need this game, and I need it now! To be honest, the transformation sequence itself could have looked a little more flashy, I guess, but I'm not going to be too nitpicky about this. When you cut to my second close-up of Super Sonic, it's the effects that do it for me, man, and the atmosphere. And that's when it really sunk in for me. Super Sonic really is back in full force. I mean, it's not like he ever disappeared off the map. He showed up in recent titles like Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, I guess, but he was DLC there. I'm not going to count it. It never really factored into the main story. And then the Sonic Origins. Those were re-released of the classics, so it was a given that Super Sonic and Hyper Sonic would be included. And since I just name-dropped Hyper Sonic, I'm just gonna say what I'm pretty damn sure we're all thinking right now. I believe Hyper Sonic, or at least a new evolution of the Super Sonic form, as in like Excalibur Sonic or Darkspine Sonic, something like that is gonna be in Sonic Frontiers. If I recall correctly, somebody who commented on one of my videos pointed out how a leaker mentioned that the Chaos Emeralds would need to be collected multiple times for each island. And that in turn would justify the sizable number of cyberspace stages, where you collect the vault keys to get the emerald, though it's also suggested you can get those keys in the open zone setting itself. If Super Sonic is going to be featured in just about every boss battle, then it backs up the idea that the Chaos Emeralds need to be collected multiple times. It makes sense because whenever you bring the emeralds together and use them, they scatter afterwards. So each time you use them on one of the islands, they'll head off to another island and you gotta collect them again. Makes perfect sense. It would add to the replayability value for Sonic Frontiers, further backing up Sonic Team's intention of making this the most packed Sonic game to date. But back to Hyper Sonic. If Super Sonic is going to be featured in just about every boss battle, then I think to keep things from possibly becoming repetitive, Sonic Team needs to have something amazing and impactful planned out for the final showdown. Something that's going to stick with you long after you finish playing the game. Something that will set up for a godlike ending. Like, just imagine. With how often the Chaos Emeralds get used, they may end up becoming drained of their power. I mean, it's happened before. Anybody remember what Perfect Chaos did in Sonic Adventure? But the opposite is also true. These same emeralds could be powered up into something much better, like the Super Emeralds in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And that recently got re-released courtesy of Sonic Origins. We've also had a lot of new Sonic fans join the community thanks to both of the live-action Sonic movies, Sonic Origins, the impending arrival of a third Sonic film, and the Knuckles spin-off, and also Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Prime coming out soon. By the time Frontiers comes out, Hyper Sonic will have been on the minds of just about every new Sonic fan who's joined the series since Origins. And so, this could be the perfect opportunity for SEGA to finally raise the number of games that Hyper Sonic has been featured in from 1 to 2. They came pretty close to doing exactly that with Sonic Mania, but then a decision was made to cut Hypersonic and only include a reference to him, with the Super Emeralds having been turned to stone. And you only really see them during the Knuckles storyline. Speaking of Knuckles, you do see the Master Emerald in the prologue animation. And the Master Emeralds are a part of how the Chaos Emeralds were able to evolve into the Super Emeralds. Suddenly, I'm thinking the Master Emerald could very well be an element of the storyline in Sonic Frontiers. Either that or maybe I'm getting a little bit carried away, but come on. SEGA was finally not so shy about letting Hypersonic back out into the wild, even if it was in the same game that he'd already been featured in. They might get a little bit bolder afterward and start throwing him into other games, and come on. I know y'all want to see that happen. Don't tell me you don't want it. Modern Hypersonic. Oh my god, my life would be complete if I ever saw that. I gotta wonder though, is Supersonic exclusively for boss battles, or when you beat the main campaign, will it be possible to play as him everywhere else in both the open zone and cyberspace? Oh my god, that would add to the fun. And people have already reported on Sonic's base controls being very good and responsive. I only hope that carries over for when you go Supersonic, but I'm pretty confident it will. It is so good to see my boy Supersonic back as an important element in a Sonic story. He looks so good! With how much I've gushed about Supersonic, you'd think he was the only thing of note in this trailer. But no, there are other details that you can pick up on. Let's start with that brief look at the Volcano Island, which SEGA briefly teased in their Sonic Frontiers art book. Funnily enough, I'd just gotten done talking about this particular island in my previous video. If you want to know my full thoughts on it, I encourage you to check that video out. From that first shot of the Volcano Island, which appears to be grayed out, I think my earlier theory about the steam potentially hindering your visibility could be spot on. Either that, or it's for cutscene purposes. We don't get to see it for long though. The trailer quickly cuts to gameplay clips, most of which are pretty new, but they do stick to concepts that we've already been educated on by now. I gotta say though, those circular rail sequences at Ares Island, they're looking kinda epic. I gotta ask though, what the heck is happening in this shot right here? Is Sonic having a Chaos Emerald snatched away from him or something? Considering he has to retrieve one of the emeralds from the top of the Titan he fights against later on, I think that is very likely. And speaking of a Titan, the rest of the trailer is spent with him and Sonic squaring up, and then Supersonic showing up later on. You also see like that same 8-second clip that was shared during the Japanese Nintendo Direct, but only during the Japanese Nintendo Direct. It was never shared over here in America. Not that that really matters because there's nothing new you would have glimpsed from it, except for that little animation you see of Sonic looking terrified before he has to avoid the Titan's incoming attack. I can't believe I almost made the mistake of posting this video without highlighting these last two details that simply shouldn't be overlooked. Shame on me, but a good thing I caught myself. We're given a higher quality look of the brand new Sonic Team logo. And I'm gonna say this, I don't think it's looked this good since the Sonic Team logo from the Sega Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure. That was always one of my favorite depictions of a logo, but this one is getting up there. We see betrayals of blue, yellow, and red, obviously to represent Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, bringing in the Sonic Team logo. But before that, we see Sonic briefly speeding through a trail of rings. This is beyond epic. And also, Sonic is riding atop the backs of birds now? Yo! So not only will you get to run across the islands, you get to fly across them too? All in all, this trailer has the word epic stamped all over it. As if I wasn't already obsessed with Sonic Frontiers, now you have to give me even more reasons to be obsessed. And no, I am not going to ignore the fact that Vandalize was playing during this trailer. Absolutely not! You don't just listen to any music from 1OK Rock and not acknowledge it in any way. Are you crazy? And you know something? If Vandalize turned out to be the Supersonic theme, I don't think that many of us would mind it at all. What about you? But let me not jinx it. They may have a new piece of music reserved specifically for the Golden Boy, and I'd really love to hear what it's gonna sound like. Well, that about covers everything of note in this trailer. If you've been paying attention to the content from Gamescom, you'll recognize some of the stuff featured here. But there's new clips thrown in also, and I've already talked about those. So, what are your thoughts on this trailer, and especially on Supersonic? Let me know your feedback in the comments below. I'm really excited to see what you all think of this trailer. And as always, I will see you next time. Peace! Blue Blurs for life. Take care.